I mentioned earlier that you can search for all your bookmarks that match a particular tag by using this field here. So you prefix the tag that is of interest with the pound symbol, and then you just search your own, and here comes up all the content. So here we're looking for My Sleep Button bookmarks. This is an app that CogSci Apps developed. Now notice what the address bar looks like here after I have searched for My Sleep Button in Pinboard. It creates an address like this. Well, what we can do to quickly access the My Sleep Button tagged bookmarks is to create a bookmark like this, right? It looks just like this. Now, this query part here, after the equal, that can actually be taken away if we want to create a general query. And now I could actually search for anything. For instance, I could search for Apple. And that'll bring up all of my tags that have to do with Apple. All my bookmarks, that is, that have to do with Apple. With this principle in mind, we can actually design a query in LaunchBar that will automatically pick up whatever target we want. Look at how to do that with LaunchBar. Let's bring up the LaunchBar index window by doing it the slow way. Show the index. Okay, so this is a window you should get familiar with if you use LaunchBar. Let's simplify things here. Okay, and I'm going to go to my search templates. Here is a search template that I've created by pressing the plus button, giving it a name, and defining it. So let's delete what I've created here by selecting the delete option here. Here's a search template that I've created here. Okay, so you can create something similar. This user part here gives myself as a username, one of my Pinboard accounts. You could also use, you can remove that actually if you want to access bookmarks that have been tagged by people publicly, so where you don't care where the bookmark is. So the way to read this here is that, so you got the username part here. Pinboard has this convention of using the T character for tags, and the star here says that anything that you type after the search template query has been invoked will be passed on to LaunchBar, where it's going to concatenate that with the rest of the URL. So it could create something like My Sleep Button here, right, when you type it in, but we're going to get rid of that. Okay, so when you invoke the search template, you'll get an entire URL that can actually then be used to pick up a Pinboard web page. So I'd like to show you this in action right now. Invoke LaunchBar once again, and we'll type the abbreviation for this Pinboard search. Notice this gives you a clue that it's a search, not the general Pinboard here. And then I'm going to hit enter. And it's now asking me for some text. I've actually previously added Apple. I'm going to add this back again. Okay, and then look at that. What LaunchBar has done for us is it's created this URL to which it's appended. It's taken the Apple here and it's added it to the rest here. And now I've got a list of a whole bunch of bookmarks that I've tagged with Apple. And notice that it's giving me the related tags. So each one of these tags here applies to some of the web pages that I've tagged with Apple. That's why Apple is the biggest one here. What this says is that we can use LaunchBar to quickly access a whole bunch of bookmark pages that have a tag applied to them, essentially. Okay, so it's faster than doing it through the interface. It's faster than navigating all these bookmarks that you can access here. Right now, another thing you can do actually is, if you don't want to use LaunchBar, you can actually define a TextExpander snip. As long as your TextExpander snip expands to what you want, like for this, for instance, I've got one for all of my tags, okay, to access any tag, and then I can add, say, Apple to this, and then bang, it gives me all of my Apple tag bookmarks, right? So that's a handy way, kind of in a different context. Let's say that you're in the context of a particular web page. Okay, you're in CogZest website, and then you want to access all of your Apple bookmarks. You can quickly do that like this. So that's handy. Of course, you can also define a TextExpander snip for an entire tag. So I've got one, for instance, for my sleep button like that, right? And we explain in other chapters how to use TextExpander. Here's what this snippet looks like, okay? This is the expanded snip. This is the abbreviation. So this obviously can be applied actually in any context. Another cool thing is that you can use this in combination with LaunchBar too. What you can do now is invoke the LaunchBar input window. You can actually type this abbreviation here, MSB, hit the tab key, and notice how that replaces the LaunchBar content. So that's another way to use TextExpander in combination with LaunchBar, in combination with Pinboard. So these apps can all be used together to really boost your productivity.